This is episode 4, a dual episode with me and TJ, the founder and owner of Holistik Wellness, a CBD company that is emerging and is amazing. And I'm so excited for this show today. Hello, it's Tiffany, and welcome back to Cultivating Guts, a podcast where we discuss gardening, homesteading, gut health, and following our intuition. I am so excited to be back with you guys today. I have had so many insightful moments this past week and just so many more ideas for important topics for us to discuss coming in 2022 that I'm wanting to share with you, on the podcast. And today I'm actually simultaneously video recording this podcast. So if you want to catch us in real time in video, jump over to YouTube at youtube.com/Tiffany Hinton. And you're going to find a whole new channel within our YouTube area of podcasts. So you can go back and listen to past episodes. You can subscribe, and anytime we drop a new podcast on Tuesday mornings, you'll get a notification. And again, if you're on YouTube, hello, super excited to see you today. I had a more recent thought lately as we were planning the holiday guide around how our family's been using CBD and wanting to dive into some of the background around CBD and some of the science and some fun ways to include it in your daily life and the adaptogen abilities of CBD on the endocannabinoid system. And so today in this episode, we have the unique opportunity to actually talk to TJ, the founder of Holistik Wellness. They're actually one of our new podcast sponsors as well. So we have a really cool opportunity and discount and special for you as you listen to this episode. You'll hear about as we get going. And it's amazing. So before we get started, I want to make sure you subscribe and review the Cultivating Guts podcast and send me a screenshot of your review to Tiffany@gfmomcertified.com. We will send you our 4-day Hacking Your Health Gut Detox plan. Also, if you're listening, send a screenshot of your favorite part of the podcast. Share it with us on Instagram at gfmomcertified or at Cultivating Guts, our podcast Instagram account. I love reposting, and I'm excited to hear what you thought of today's episode. I'm so grateful to you and all the amazing listeners for helping us grow our podcast and share it with more people. And before we head into the show, here's a quick word from our sponsors. Can I share with you a secret weapon for thriving through the holiday season, thriving through life, and just keeping my gut in check, right? This is Gluten Away from Just Thrive. I love their probiotics. I found them about 10 years ago. They're a female-owned company based right here in Chicago. And this Gluten Away product that they have is a combination that is my go-to for every meal that I eat out, all of my travel, whether I'm on an airplane or in a car, or even if I'm going to a friend's house and I'm just really not sure about the cross-contamination. This helps me keep my celiac disease and Crohn's disease in remission. And when I pair this with their probiotic each day, my gut is truly thriving. I have painless stomachs. I don't really have cramps anymore. I'm regular, which is awesome, right? Nobody really wants to get constipated. And I know that I have a healthy gut colony of good bacteria living in my microbiome. Just Thrive's probiotics are a unique blend of powerful digestive enzymes. Their probiotics are designed to support optimal digestion and protect against hidden sources of tummy troubles like gluten. This gluten away product has the enzyme protease in it, which is scientifically proven to break down the gluten protein to make it digestible, to make it less abrasive on the gut. The resilient probiotic spores support the complex and complete digestive process and help me alleviate inflammation in my body. Our whole family uses Just Thrive's probiotics, their products, and their gluten away. Even my girls, you can bake with their capsules by opening them on the probiotics. The gluten away enzyme, like I said, I take it anytime we're eating out. I take it at restaurants, at people's houses. Even put it in my morning coffee, right? You can open it, add it to your coffee if you're not sure about the creamer or something else. And with the probiotic, you can do the same. You can add it to your coffee. Did you guys know that spore-based probiotics can survive warm temperatures even? This is how it allows us to bake with them. They can cook up to 500 degrees. And this means you can even add them to the probiotics to your morning pancake batter. we have a special community discount code just for you from Just Thrive Probiotics and their family at Just Thrive. And so the code GFMOM, GFMOM, saves you 15% off your total purchase at their website. We will add that to the show notes. We would love for you to add a bottle of Just Thrive Gluten Away and a bottle of their probiotics to your cabinet, in your kitchen, and also to your purse this season. So you have it with you anytime you're eating out or you're at a friend's house or any celebration or holiday meal. And thank you again, Gluten Away, for being our podcast sponsor. And with that, we're going to head right into the show. So I'm super excited for our sponsor, Holistik Wellness. It is a CBD company that we found actually online during 2021, and we've been using their products in our house, our family, myself, our girls. I even gave some to a friend of mine and for her pet, and it is truly an amazing product. The uniqueness that Holistik Wellness delivers is that it's pre-portioned servings in a broad spectrum CBD in a portable beverage stick. So you could actually take a package, you can stick it in your purse, you can, pack it in your suitcase, whatever you need to do. But it's also in a stick that, like I said, is pre-portioned. So every grab and go stick contains 10 milligrams of CBD Wellness, and they have a proprietary blend and it's water soluble, their hemp extract, which is also very, very unique in that you can put it in water, you could put it in juice, you could put it in another liquid. It completely dissolves, and it's truly amazing. The other thing that is really, really awesome about the Holistik Wellness is that they have different blends intentionally. So this beauty blend has collagen in it. So it helps your nails, your skin, your different parts of your body that need a little extra boost. They have a stress blend, which has lemon balm, or you're more familiar with what's called Melissa. And it is relaxing. It is also amazing. But if you're actually looking for something to relax you to go to sleep, they actually have a sleep stick. And in the sleep stick, it has a little bit of melatonin to help with your sleep, along with chamomile, which is shown to help relax the body. They also have a digest blend for those that are listening to our podcast that have stomach problems, complaints, bloating, just issues with digesting. And it contains papaya and turmeric, which are great for digestion. And it's awesome as well. I like this one. This is probably my favorite. The Digest blend, it's an orange package. They also have an Energizer blend that has turmeric and ginger in it. And the Energizer blend is great if you need to pick me up in the afternoon, like you hit that 3 o'clock low and you don't really need to reach for caffeine. You just need something to pick up your body. They have a 10-pack that you can order on their website. And what's truly amazing is that for this holiday season, we have a special coupon for our listeners, and the code is GFMOM, so GFMOM, and it saves 25% off your order. That is like unheard of, really, to get 25% off your whole order. You can utilize this by going to the Holistik Wellness website. We've got the link below in the show notes. And I'm super grateful and excited for our brand new sponsor, Holistik Wellness, and to be able to offer you a great CBD product that is organically grown in a greenhouse, never touches soil. It's actually grown hydroponically. And it's combined, like I said, in unique blends with herbs and plants that have additional benefits for your body, whether it's helping you go to sleep or it's helping you aid in digestion, or there is, like I said, the collagen, or it's the helping you relax or relieve the anxiety. And so super excited. Again, the code to save 25% off your holiday order is GFMOM, and we'll have the link and the code below in the show notes. Awesome. All right. Welcome back to Cultivating Guts. We are here today with TJ, the owner, the founder of Holistik Wellness, a CBD company that is quite unique. And I'm very excited to share that with everybody today. Do you want to do a little intro and tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Absolutely. Hi, Tiffany. Thank you for having me, and thank you, everybody, for listening in. Super excited to be here. Quick story of me. I'm TJ, the founder and CEO of Holistik Wellness. Really a lifelong consumer products guy that believes in the power of your products doing more for you than just falling into your hands at a purchase price, but really impacting your life and hopefully bettering the consumer's life. I grew up at Procter and Gamble, really focusing on those efforts and learning about marketing to finance and how a business and brand is run, and then recently have ventured out into CBD to really take those skills to help new consumers discover this new plant.
Love it. So I know a little bit, and then I'd like you to also talk about this. But like the whole idea around CBD and hemp, and like there was this past history in America where we grew a bunch of hemp, and then kind of like alcohol, the government decided, hey, prohibition or no hemp growing. You know, you got to grow corn or soybeans, and now there's this reintroduction. But what is the true difference between kind of the hemp plant that makes clothing and other things and the hemp seeds that we get from a health food store versus the plants that are used to produce CBD?
Excellent question, and one of about a million that my mom asked the first day I got excited about CBD. I'll tell you more of that. There's a lot of questions out there on CBD, and sadly, even more information. However, with no bodies clearly regulating it, such as the FDA, that we come accustomed to in other consumer products, there's a ton of questions that aren't clearly answered. So, to quickly answer your question, then tell you how we get around it, cannabis sativa is a plant by itself. Legally, we have defined that plant as marijuana, medical marijuana, which is normally called THC and defined as the stuff that gets you high, to keep it really simple. Then, in layman's terms, CBD has defined everything else, which really has become the wellness cannabinoid in the plant, that is non psychoactive. I like to think of it more as a multivitamin in the way it works with your body. The homework for everybody is Google the endocannabinoid system, or even better, check out our blog and learn about one of the most important systems in our body next to the central nervous system that's everywhere in our body, and how hemp, cannabis, whatever you want to call it, interacts with that system. So, very simply put, we boil down CBD to really define that it's not going to get you high. However, as a company, we like to walk the consumer through the full plant and understanding other cannabinoids and how they can benefit your day alongside of that CBD, even other than THC, not necessarily to get a high, but to continue that wellness routine with the plant.
Yeah.
So ton of stuff there. And I'll say, as a brand, we simplify that into CBD Wellness, which is the cleanest form of deriving the goodness out of a cleanly grown plant and delivering it to you. That's step one. Try one, see if it works for you. And then we love to educate down to me having personal sessions to really talk through those questions and learn with our consumers.
That's awesome. So, and
Thank you.
part of I think what the audience may or may not know is that CBD is like an adaptogen. So your body will take what is there, kind of like ashwagandha, right? It's another herb that's an adaptogen, and it will utilize it for what it needs. So it could
Right.
help with pain, it could help with swelling, it could help with digestion. It just kind of depends on what the body needs at that time. And there's other things besides CBD and ashwagandha that are adaptogens, but those are two very common ones that I think we hear about in the US quite a bit. Um,
Very well said. I think you
yes.
said something in there that's interesting. It's uh, CBD becomes the victim of alcohol and traditional things you would find in your drugstore aisle. And the reason I say that is alcohol is a drug. Let's be honest, I drink it, but we all know what it does to us. We know very clearly alcohol has its negative downsides that we deal with because we love a social, whatever, relaxation. On the other side of that equation are things that we take that numb our body and take away pain and take away other things. I think some plants and other natural supplements fall beautifully in the middle, then it enable our body to work better as opposed to stop our body from its natural reaction to some things that may occur in our day. So really back to that endocannabinoid system, a vital understanding to why we should be taking CBD every day.
Yeah, yeah. And so I want to ask you first and foremost, kind of what led you, TJ, down this path of kind of leaving Procter and Gamble, and what was that turning point when your gut or your body said, "All right, we got to make this jump." What got you there?
Awesome question. There's never an easy answer until it comes close enough to home that makes you jump. Long story short, I said I was a consumer products guy and really loved my time at Procter and Gamble because of the ability to craft a brand message to deliver against a consumer's needs. It's what Procter and Gamble does best across their brands. It feels like a part of the family as opposed to something you buy when you're at the grocery store. I left thinking I want something closer to home that really I feel I can make a difference in consumers' life because of the product and something that was closer to me. I'm a longtime cannabis consumer personally that never really saw the downside or the stigma related to it. However, I didn't see it as an upside opportunity. I wasn't what part of what they call the green rush. And I'm sure everybody listening knows somebody who started a CBD brand. I was kind of victim to that. And it was like, it's everywhere from my gas station to my salon to whatever it might be. You run into CBD with no clear direction. What made me jump was running into my mom when I told her, give it a shot. I knew that CBD was being looked at for some of the ailments she dealt with every day for most of my life, and said, "Mom, it's a plant. It has to be better than anything else you tried to at least give it a shot." And she looked at me as if I was a drug dealer and her bad son that told her, what are you talking about? Don't suggest that." And it was that look that immediately combined my two worlds of how the consumer looks at this plant because of what's been fed to them over the past 100 years versus that potential for her. And long story short, when she finally listened, it changed her life. So it was the ability to get past that cognitive dissonance that's been created for consumers to get to try that first effort, see if it works for you. So really her experience and obviously the results were what pushed me to do it in total. And then it was looking at that shelf that there's no product that could communicate that to her and that answers your simple questions transparently, honestly. You can call the founder. You can look me up online. I'm available. I couldn't find that. And it bothered me because it's my mom's health that I want to, obviously have these questions answered. So we make a honest effort, and please give feedback anytime you see holes in it, that we want to be an open book for our consumer and really answer that whole list of questions as quickly as possible.
I like it. So it's that transition. Your mom kind of, first of all, it sounds like she was like against it. Like I think many of our parents who were raised as baby boomers or that age group, or even grew up with like war on drugs, being
Mm-hmm.
like all over the news during their early 20s and 30s. Totally, yeah. Like they're kind of like, I don't know. Even some of them around regular supplements are like, well, my doctor didn't prescribe it. Well, it's gotta they gotta open their mind to it. And then she had some results that I think, as you said, she benefited. So then it kind of shifted. And you're right. A lot of the CBD companies in the beginning with that green rush, you didn't know a lot about them. You didn't know about sourcing. You didn't know if, they were being pushed by your Avon lady or they were being pushed by, like you said, like the gas station or the corner video store. Or it was like, where is all this stuff coming from? Um, and that is one of the unique things I think that a lot of people would really like to understand with the holistic wellness. You guys have your own kind of farm. Do you want to speak a little bit about how you keep the product itself secure and how you understand your own sourcing and can answer questions easily for consumers?
Absolutely. Point one is definitely the plant and a little bit about hemp. It is a biological sponge. Big word that is given in the best example of they planted hemp around Chernobyl to clean up the grounds after the nuclear explosion. It sucks everything out of the earth and everything out of the air. And I've heard a stat that every inch of soil on the planet has a bit of arsenic. The challenge is normally the way you use that plant is you extract an oil and you concentrate everything in that plant. So if there's one little tiny bit of arsenic, you're concentrating that arsenic. So it's vital to know where that hemp comes from. And when you're looking at any CBD product, start there. If they don't know where their hemp came from, if they're not willing to tell you, leave immediately, period. Regardless of coming to Holistik or not, please take that word of advice. So our choice, and again, because my mom's our number one customer, is to grow every bit of our hemp in a greenhouse. Most hemp producers look at us like we're crazy because it's more expensive normally to grow in a greenhouse and have that kind of control. However, through a bit of our sustainability choices, we've made that a better choice. And frankly, to me, it's the only choice today when we don't have the right amount of regulation to know. So our plants never touch soil. They're grown hydroponically. They never touch the outside air, so they're never subject to the pollution of the highway down the street. And coolest part is our farm is actually located in Buffalo, New York. If anybody knows Buffalo weather, you'll be surprised to know that we grow 4 seasons a year, which is pretty cool to be able to keep a consistent temperature and control of our farm all year round, which shows you that level of control. Next is really our testing process throughout, that we expose our tests and ensure that every step of our process is clean on the final product that you're going to receive. And then, of course, steps throughout to make sure it's effective and whatnot. But cleanliness first is always key.
I love it. And as you're talking, I didn't realize it was hydroponic. I knew it was in a greenhouse. I grew up down the road from a hydroponic tomato farm as a kid
Ah,
in grade school and part of my junior high years. And so very familiar with the hydroponic, how it gets set up in a greenhouse and being able like, she was a girl in my class, actually, it was her grandfather's farm. So I could go visit very, occasionally. But the idea that you
awesome.
could grow tomatoes, 12 months out of the year in Illinois, where again, lots of snow, lots of variations in weather and wind, and most people's tomatoes are on the ground, and all of theirs were like hanging from the top of the greenhouse. So that is a really, really interesting to know and very cool because you can
Very
control.
cool.
You're right, and there's no soil.
Our
That is
farm
amazing.
was a tomato, cucumber, and lettuce farm prior to us taking over. And cool story, our first customer is in the Northeast called Wegmans. It's a high-end grocery chain. If anybody's in the Northeast, they'll certainly know it. If you've ever visited, you probably went to a Wegmans anyways because it's amazing. But they're right down the road from our farm, and they used to buy lettuce from the exact same farm. So a really cool story that they came in and saw us growing our hemp right next to the lettuce that was going out at the time. But it's food. It's a simple plant. We should grow it the same way, treat it the same way if we're going to put it in our body. And frankly, that's what the FDA is going to say anyways, just like any other category of food and supplement. So we're trying to get ahead of the curve and really have those kind of standards ready for when we get to the big time.
I love it. That is so awesome. That's so cool. So
Thank you.
I want to share a little bit, and then I also want to talk some more about kind of the product. But so in our family, we started using CBD more and more probably around 7 years ago. And you're right, we didn't always know about the source. We did end up getting at one point full flower fluid, full plant fluid across the borders. We probably
I
shouldn't have
was
been
going
getting
to
it, but it was, we knew where to get it and we knew it was safe and we knew the person bringing it across. So it was good at the time. And we noticed in like, so Will, a lot of people that might be listening to this, my husband, he played football. He's had 2 knee surgeries, had his one knee operated on a second time, tore an Achilles tendon. So lots of ailments, lots of joint pain, knee pain, limping, all of these things that go along with aging as you have sports injuries. And it's very interesting because he started using it topically in the beginning because, again, you didn't necessarily know about dosaging and all of this stuff. And now Mayo Clinic has the dosaging on their website. So it's kind of more common. But so it was topically and it would help with the pain. And he didn't need to always take the Motrin or rely on something else for the joint pain. And then during the pandemic, he took up boxing. So we actually have a boxing coach that comes to our house 3 days a week and is a boxing personal trainer. And now we're setting up like a dojo in our garage instead of parking a car there this winter. So he'll be
Better on
shoveling
your
snow,
knees, I'm sure.
but definitely better on the knees. But it's interesting as like he got used to like the fingers and the joints and then started again, like the CBD was a huge game changer. The other place where I've seen it super, super helpful, I have a competitive gymnast who is 9 years old. And she'll use it because, along with being a competitive gymnast, she's also got 2 autoimmune conditions. She was diagnosed with
Hmm.
autoimmune diseases at age 2. And she uses it to overcome pain and huge help. So she'll come home from practice sometimes just, with a little muscle ache or a twist here or a hyperextension, and just be like, where's the CBD? And she knows that she can, put it in tea or she could throw it in a smoothie. My older one threw it in a smoothie this morning, or even, with an oil or something. Well, even the other night. So you guys have this collagen one. And she's like, I don't want to take it. I was like, okay, go dump it in a bucket of water and just go put your foot in it because she was having ankle pain. And she sat for an hour watching YouTube videos with her foot submerged in just CBD liquid. And and I was like, what'd you do with that when you were done? She's like, I tossed it out. I was like, that's fine because your foot was in it. But it gets absorbed whether you take it internally or through your skin. And I think that's important for people to understand. The cool thing, and this is one thing I want you to talk about, TJ, is your product is water soluble. And that's unique because you don't have to worry about being allergic to sunflower oil or some other item that gets mixed in with it.
Right. 100%. Well, and awesome stories. I think it's amazing how many of those stories I hear per week. You have 3 in your life right there that should be enough, give or take, that we should look a lot harder at what CBD is doing for people's lives. And those regulations should be coming, those proper dosing, proper product regulation from seed to sale, etc. Awesome for you sharing those stories. That has been the most empowering part of starting this company is people that stop me at trade shows to send me personal emails and say, this impacted my life. And I'm not a formulator. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I took pretty simple research and put it forward in a very clean, very straightforward format that, again, opens up eyes. So cool to hear that. But let's get into the details. First of all, there's a lot of phony science going out there. And strangely, at P&G, I spent most of my time in skincare and beauty. And the amount of science that goes into a beauty or skincare product, down to the particle size, down to the rate at which it penetrates your skin, is high science that I don't even understand. So I'm not going to pretend to. The scary part is the amount of products out there that are saying they're topical or saying they're ingestible that don't know that formulation. So i.e., is it going to pass the first layer of skin? Is it going to go into your bloodstream, i.e. transdermal, that could get some cannabinoids into your system, etc.? So most importantly is, again, if the company doesn't seem to know what they're talking about on those fronts, stop and move on to the next. There's plenty of options.
Yeah.
So as you said, oil is most of CBD out there because it's the easiest thing to get out of the plant. I could teach you how to do it on your desk. And long before I looked at a hemp plant, you take a straightening iron and you press it with a wax paper and you'll get all of the good oils out of there pretty inefficiently.
Oh,
But
very interesting.
let's just say you can do it.
Okay. And
so
as
the
an herbalist, I
is,
soak everything in vodka, which is not any better, but
that is another way.
Yeah.
That is another way. You could use an alcohol and basically temperature control, bring it out. So there's all kinds of ways to get oil out of a plant. The scary part is you can look it up on YouTube right now and figure out how to do it. So the first item we saw in CBD was tinctures, which is basically taking that cannabis oil, adding it to an MCT, or as you said, another type of carrier oil, and putting it in a bottle. However, your body is 75% water. So the challenge you see is your body breaking down that oil and using the active portion of what's in it intentionally and without waste. So there's often, the best story I like to tell is on the other side of cannabis, the THC. Everybody knows somebody who's tried a brownie of some sort at the wrong time in their life and 4 days later was out of their mind. Like it lasted far too long. It hit way too late. That's your body breaking down the oil, getting it through your liver, getting it through the stomach lining into your bloodstream of when you're actually feeling it. So oil is not the optimal way to put it into your system. We went to the other extreme of pre-doing what the body's going to do to that oil ahead of process. So we're breaking it down into a tiny particle size, coating that oil piece, nanoparticle in a more hydrophilic, meaning it's more in line with water, to go into the bloodstream easier. So we see a 10 to 15 minute activity time, which to me is critical. When you need something, you need it now. You don't want to wait an hour. So the simple fact of that again, on that first trial, when you're saying, I don't really know if this works, I'm not sure if it's for me, I want to see that right away. I want to see the consumer, as they're drinking their drink, say, I feel that feels great, as I'm going to do right now. If anybody's watching on a video, I'll show a demonstration while we're talking because it's my time of the day for a recover stick. We can talk through. I can make and talk.
As you're
I'm going to show the product. I mean, I can
like
explain too if you want.
So you guys have, like you just said, recover stick, right? So that's one variation. And I think there's another point where I gave a few to a friend of mine who'd been using a different CBD product, and she actually gives it to her dog as well because he's a 20-year-old dog, which I'm like, I can't believe he's alive still. Mr. Manny, he is like this limping little old dog. But anyway, so he takes CBD every day. But what she said is she's like, it's sweet. And so you guys are using monk fruit in certain varieties, correct?
Correct. And we have 5 formulations of our product. At the center of all of them is 10 milligrams of CBD Wellness, as I described earlier, a water soluble CBD powder that is the exact same across all 5 SKUs. The next layer is answering all of my mom's question in one fell swoop. And it's putting other natural ingredients that when you search our sub brands, which I'll explain to you on Google, how do you fall asleep naturally? How do you deal with stress naturally? How do you deal with recover naturally, which are some of the top search things on Google anyways. We took the top ingredients from each of those searches, 1 to 2, and put them next to CBD Wellness. There's an
Mm.
intention there. It tells you exactly why you should include CBD into your life. And then secondly, they're great ingredients that boost in that direction. So chamomile and melatonin, going to give you a wonderful night's sleep on their own next to CBD Wellness. Love to see your feedback. Same with lemon balm on stress. Same with
Yeah.
ginger and turmeric on recover. As you talk the collagen in beauty, as you think through each of those sticks, they're flavored only like those other natural ingredients. And then, as you said, we add 10 milligrams of all natural monk fruit. It's sugar free and it doesn't spike your glycemic index. Often, when you're looking at CBD, you have to check your diet at the same time because there's so many calories, sugar or otherwise. So we intend to make it simply calorie free and sugar free in a glass of water, or take these ingredients like I've done here.
Hmm.
I have a recover stick and I'm going to put it in this tiny bit of apple juice. I
Okay.
put 2 ounces of apple juice and I infuse that with a simple pop of the bottom and a pour of the dry powder. The reason I infuse the juice first is seltzer likes to foam up. So you got
Oh,
to get kind
yeah.
of a professional seltzer motion
Okay.
before you get into the seltzer. Or pro tip is just infuse even this little bit of liquid and it makes it super
And you guys
easy.
have the peel off. And I personally have noticed if it's a cold drink, pop the bottom. If it's a hot drink, I can peel it and it'll absorb through the peel off.
Pro tips, actually, that was, again, I'm not a scientist, and my most important ingredient that we really focused on was the CBD Wellness. For some reason, we overlooked the fact that ginger and turmeric are not as soluble as you'd like them to be. And as you said, in cold water,
Yeah.
sometimes they'll get stuck in the stick. So, again, as you figure it out, you'll see pop and pour as the easy way. Some of the sticks in the right beverage work great for the peel and stir as well. Most importantly, we're fixing that in the next 2 months because we figured out those other ingredients. So soon you'll be able to peel and stir anytime, any drink.
Love it. And then for those of you that are also listening, we started growing lemon balm naturally in our backyard for many, many reasons. But if you didn't already know this, I want people to know that the Melissa oil, like Melissa essential oil, is lemon balm. So if you're using Melissa for something,
I didn't
a
know
lot
that.
of times its root is lemon balm.
Huh.
So if you're using it for stress reduction, this would be a great product for you. If you're using it for because you've got a rash or psoriasis or shingles or something that you would traditionally reach for, like a Melissa oil, you could reach for the stress stick, the holistic stress stick. And I think it would be personally, as the health coach and the herbalist, I think it would be better because you're also going to get an adaptogen with the lemon balm.
Love to hear
Yeah.
that. And moreover, love to hear your feedback when you try those together. Anybody who does, because some people it might work even better in conjunction. As Tiffany explained earlier with the adaptogen, it's going to help everything work better in your body. It was actually one
Yeah.
of the biggest challenges in my mom's journey was adjusting everything else she was working with when this started to work, which there's no easy answers out there. So it's kind of trial and error, or hopefully finding a progressive health coach such as yourself who can guide through some of these type of choices.
Yeah. So, and
Cheers.
it's as easy as that. Cheers. That is awesome. That is so cool.
Quiet and
Um,
easy. This is like apple spritzer, and I put like 90% seltzer water in everything because you get the wonderful flavor of the stick next to
with
the
the,
apple juice, and it tastes delicious.
that's awesome. Okay. So we talked a little bit. I'm going to pull these up so I can with the
Yeah,
melatonin and chamomile. So this is more like sleep or people that are, maybe taking a melatonin anyway at night. Um, it's
that
also
was me.
interesting. Was that you? You were not
I
sleeping?
sleep. No, I sleep amazing. And I've tried melatonin on the few nights I don't sleep or I'm worried about not sleeping. It leaves me terribly groggy. Like the next day, my day's ruined, which is not worth the night of sleep. So I'm not an every night type of supplement taker to help myself sleep. However, I hear this from a lot of regular consumers. What we've heard from consumers on that is next to CBD Wellness, it's only 5 milligrams of melatonin. I actually take that to wake up clearer. So I take it when I only get
Ah,
to sleep like 4 or 6 hours. I have a
yeah.
short night or an early flight. I take that one to fall asleep. That's actually our best stick that won the Men's Health Award for 2020 as the best CBD drink.
Congratulations.
2021. What
That's
year are we in?
awesome.
Thank you.
One of the functional medicine practitioners I work with, when she had patients diagnosed with flus and colds and different viruses, she was prescribing them melatonin because she
Hmm.
needed them to sleep in order to heal and to get rid of the virus or the bacteria in their body. So
Hmm.
it's very, very, yeah, melatonin can leave you, like you said, groggy, but there's also really good reasons that you might need it to help boost your immunity.
If anyone listening has sleep troubles and wants to take an honest bet, you can send a message to me on Instagram or on my email. I'm only going to say it here, though, so you have to see it. It won't be in the notes. tj@holistikwellness.com. Tell me about your sleep troubles, and I'll send you some free sleep sticks to help you sleep at night throughout the holiday.
You are
And
amazing.
that is my challenge. All I want is your feedback when you do sleep wonderfully.
I love that. That's so amazing. So amazing. Okay, so we talked about the lemon balm. This is honestly my favorite. This is like my go-to at 2 o'clock in the afternoon where I want to reach for the pretzels or the potato chips. Just because that, it gets
We
stressful
didn't make an
sometimes.
appetite suppression. It is hidden into our digest stick that it helps with appetite, but I
Oh,
feel
interesting. Okay.
majorly that it works for me in that way.
Okay.
That's actually
Awesome.
my favorite stick, which is the dark horse, because nobody thinks about digestion. But after a Thanksgiving weekend of a non standard diet and stresses and waking up at different times, all that stuff, you'll realize why you need a digest stick, and that's actually the fastest actor for me. That's tough
Okay.
tummy in the morning. As soon as you start drinking this drink, you feel better pretty quickly.
Yeah, that makes sense. And you're right. A lot of people don't always realize that our bodies can't heal if we're continuing to digest food. So the faster we can work through digestion and we can get things out, processed, and kind of have an empty stomach, right? Whether you're using something to aid with digestion or you're just doing some intermittent fasting in between and then doing the beneficial stuff to like heal the body, you can't really heal unless if your body's digesting. It takes more energy to digest food than anything else. So,
Digestion is vital, and 74% of Americans live with some type of GI issue.
yeah,
It's a scary thought. We all need to focus on our digestion.
yeah. I love this. I personally took this one and I mixed it with pomegranate juice. And so you'll see that
Wonderful.
recipe in the holiday guide. And I loved that it had like that undertone from the turmeric with the pomegranate juice. And
It's a
then we
great one to
talked.
cook with as well, because the turmeric, if
Oh,
anybody gets interested in the cooking world, only
yeah.
suggestion, and there's a lot of people that will tell you differently, don't cook over 20 minutes over 350 degrees.
Okay.
So try to include it towards the end of your recipe. I've even done it as like a steak rub with the ginger and turmeric of Recover, actually, I used for that one.
Okay.
But play with the recipes and the ingredients. They're wonderful with food.
That is a great suggestion. I
Lots
didn't
of
even
fun.
really,
Can
I
be
mean,
had.
I don't always think about CBD as an ingredient to cook with because of the heat and some other things. I always think about it more of a mix in for breakfast smoothies or coffees or drinks. But that is an awesome suggestion. My brain just like went everywhere else, but
Can do a whole
refocus.
dinner party.
We're having a holiday party. This is kind of private invite, but we are having a holiday party for my past clients this year. We're doing like just an
Oh,
intimate party at the house. And
nice.
we were going to set up a cocktail bar and a hot chocolate bar. And
Hmm.
I may throw some of these out there for people to try when they're here. Now that I
Would
have a
love
few.
to support. Let me know. I'm happy
Okay.
to
That would
do
be
some
so fun.
recipes or like a nice little thing too. Be cool.
Yeah. Uh, so this is the collagen one. This is the one that Liliana reaches for the most just because it's got the collagen and it helps with her injuries and just her sore muscles, but also helps with nails and hair and all the great things collagen helps with, under eye circles, all of that skin stuff.
Definitely.
um,
Actually, inflammation. Did you know collagen's one of the top anti-inflammatory supplements in our stick? So really, that's why it works on all those items in your body. This beauty is the one that my mom chooses for her every day. She puts it in her yogurt parfait in the morning. She says it's helped with everything from her split ends to everything
I
else.
love that.
So it's the one she goes for. And again, a dark horse because people don't think beauty, but inflammation to sleep are the number, top five things that are happening in beauty.
Yeah, and you're right. Collagen, though, as we get older, just breaks down naturally anyway, whether it's in your skin or it's in your joints. And so,
Right.
um, people that have arthritis or just, joint pain or what they used to call like texting thumb, where your joints hurt, a little bit of collagen seems to go a huge way, even if you're still young and you don't feel like you have arthritis, but you still get some of that pain and cramping in your hands. Yeah.
I got Will's knees and missing a few meniscus, so it's my go-to
Oh,
as well.
yes.
Recover and beauty.
Yes, that makes sense. Okay, and then the green one, which is a ginger turmeric. That is, and I'll be honest, I have not tried this one yet. It says
Ooh,
restore and recharge.
that's
So
the
is
one
this
I'm drinking right
energy?
now. It's
It's the one
actually
you're
my
drinking.
favorite.
Okay.
It does have this one actually hits three different areas. It's targeted at like workout, post workout recovery, really bringing you back to center. However, we find our consumers use it for that. They use it for hangover cure, which the turmeric and the ginger actually gives you a nice settling feeling, anyways. Plus the CBD and getting over something like a hangover. And then lastly is energy, actually, because the ginger gives you a nice little boost. I do the same as you do with the stress in the afternoon. Try a recover in place next time you're going to do a stress, and that ginger is a wonderful boost instead of the 3 o'clock coffee that can sometimes end in a slump as you get into your evening. So really revitalizing your day versus giving it a shot.
Yes, and I love my coffee, but I will agree there should be no afternoon or evening coffee because it just is wrecking your adrenals, your hormones, your sleep patterns. It is a morning thing
Your
for
teeth,
sure. Yes.
just getting out there.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I am also curious, TJ, like when you made the shift from Procter and Gamble over to starting your own company, was there any point in that transition where your gut or your intuition was like, "Oh my God, what am I doing?" Was
I
there
think when
anything
my
that you
mom
had to like
asked, "Are you
work through?
deciding to deal drugs?" My mom's first question was probably a big moment for me. I think it's challenging to start any new business from the safety net of a large company. You quickly learn that 24/7 is to your company. You got to love it. That's going to be for any entrepreneur. I think the second piece of how much gray area there's been in a lot of what we deal with in the industry, which all of those questions consumers have turn on the company as I can't advertise on a lot of traditional platforms that I'd love to show you my product. It's hard to find my Instagram account, for example, because it's held back by those powers that be. So a lot of those challenges were challenging at first. I'll tell you, not a moment of regret or hesitation as I look at my mom on through the consumers that send me messages and tell me heartfelt stories about how this is important in their life. And that wasn't my expectation. I'll tell you day one, it's heartwarming as it continues to prove itself over time. So no, challenging and excited that I'm here.
That's awesome. We are glad you are here too. So glad.
Thank you.
I have kind of one last question for you today. What do you do every day to cultivate guts?
Who? Wonderful question. And I can't use my product. I take it. I wasn't enough prepared for this because it's my 3 o'clock probably that. Cultivating guts. I take a saying that was given to me, and I have no idea who said it first, but it's do one thing every day that scares you. Which I used to take into something personally challenging, whatever, do something extreme sports stupid. I take now in my work, in my communication with consumers, and really outside the comfort zone of how you relate to each one. And I think it's challenging yourself as a devil's advocate, not to prove yourself right, but to learn from those you serve, the people around you. That is guts. And it's endlessly you see leaders, companies, etc., trying to form fit everybody else to them versus listening to what their consumers saying firsthand and trying to build a company around them. So really, that's what gives me the passion and gives me the guts we have to keep doing what we're doing.
I love it. Great answer. That is amazing.
Thank
I
you.
think everybody could take a page out of that and just whatever it is, step outside their comfort zone each day a little bit. Um,
Definitely.
that is awesome answer. And I want to let everybody know that we do have a code for Holistik Wellness, and that'll be in the show notes. So you can click our link, and you can use our code, and we'll share that, and we'll have that out there. And then the other thing is there are 2 mocktail recipes for their products in this year's holiday guide. So if you're listening to this in December and January, and you can pick up a copy of the 2021 GF Mom Certified Holiday Guide and find 2 mocktail recipes that use the Holistik Wellness products in them. And thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me, Tiffany. Really appreciated the conversation. I appreciate all the support. And to everyone listening that made it to the end, I really appreciate you listening to the time we had here. I mean it on my door being open. I meant it on the sleep offer. And please, when you have a chance to try Holistik Wellness, share your experience with me. We're here to grow together and hope that it works in your life. Cheers. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode with TJ from Holistik Wellness. Share with me your favorite part, and also share if you actually try the CBD, especially the sleep, and how that affects or benefits you. Ask me any questions. I'm here for you, and I'm excited to see your benefits. Satnam, love you guys. So if you love this episode, remember to share it with your friends. Send it to anyone who may love this inspiration and information that we shared today. To get my newest book, our 2021 holiday guide, I want you to jump over to Amazon or barnesandnoble.com or our website, anywhere books are sold, and you can pick up a digital copy or a printed copy of the 2021 GF Mom Certified Holiday Guide. It is packed full of fun, discounts, shopping lists, how to sustainability options, gardening information, recipes, and so much more. We also want to let you know that we have a brand new transition happening. If you haven't already heard, going into 2022 with GF Mom Certified, we are moving more into the sustainability, cultivating gardening space and planning out new webinars starting in January on getting you ready to plan your garden for 2022. So super excited for that and the ability to be creative and just live into this large transformation that's happening. If you are interested in doing a master gardening class on your own, we would love for you to check out our Podia course. It's at tiffanyhinton.podia.com. We have a Green Witch master gardening class there, and it'll get you everything you need to get going, growing your own food, and helping heal your gut. I am also offering through the end of the year a personal one-on-one consultation to plan your garden with your gut health in mind or your health in mind. So, helping you map out plants that you can grow that will improve or benefit your personal health and maybe even mitigate some of the symptoms you face from your own autoimmune diseases. So, for a limited time, that personal one on one Greenwich Garden consult is $125. You can get that by emailing me directly at tiffany@gfmomcertified.com, and we'll get that scheduled. After January 1st, that goes back up to over $200. So this is an opportune time for you to leverage our holiday package and our discount and schedule yourself a master gardening personal consultation and get help planning out your 2022 garden so that it can benefit your health and help you improve. Thank you again for listening. Satnam, love you all. Have a wonderful day.